Dennis Ramsey, aka Cypher, aka Douglock. First mentioned in Uncanny X-Men number 177, October 1983. First appearance, New Mutants number 13, November 1983. So a month later, pretty much. Anyway, hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feogrande on YouTube, back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And as usual, I am not alone. I am joined by my co-host, my running mate, one of my best friends in the world. He who bears watching, Superjaz.
As nature intended. What's going on, everybody? Yes, as he said, you can call me Superjaz, Jazz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as my co-host so eloquently stated, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday.
We let these chips fall where they June.
Some Wednesday coming soon.
We let these chips fall.
Nope, we're not going every month of the year.
We got an hour. We got shit. We act like we ain't got time for it. I got 10 more months. And
you got 10 more rhymes to go with that?
You could say some dumb shit. I'm saying dumb shit. We let these chips fall where they equinox?
Equinox?
We let these chips fall where they solstice? No.
Yes, doing good, sir.
Okay.
How are you doing, good sir?
Oh, I thought you said yes, doing good, sir. And I was like...
No, I said yes. How are you doing, good sir?
Okay, I didn't hear the how are you. I just heard yes, doing good, and I was like, didn't ask you how you were doing, but that's like when somebody says, how are you doing? You too.
Yeah.
But no, I'm okay.
Or when you leave a fast food place, they tell you to enjoy your food, and you're like, you too.
Right.
It's like, oh, oops.
Go to the theater. Enjoy the show. You too. It's like, I'm taking tickets. Like, but no, I'm doing good, man. 32 is turned out to be a good year. I was actually thinking of this. I was like, I'm maybe 5 weeks, month and a half into 32, and 32 has already turned into being a good year.
Good.
Without going into too much detail, you never know with auditions. You never know with auditions, because I was talking about this with my mom. You could have an audition where you're like, I killed it. Shit. They don't pick you. You could have an audition where you're like, dang, I really shot the bed on that one. And they pick you right away and say that you were one of the best. So you never know. But I just did a commercial audition yesterday.
Okay.
That shoots Tuesday, so hopefully I get that. Sound designing, people approached me, actually, like hit me up on Facebook.
For sound design?
To sound design a show, yeah.
Nice.
First time doing it, yeah. I make music, obviously, and they doing a show that is centered around hip-hop.
Oh.
And they approached me to make some original beats for the DJs to play during the show, to do the pre-show music, then to do some of the other sound throughout, and they're gonna pay me for it. Oh, shit. Okay. And then of course I'm throwing my thing. So my show, June 16th, a colored funeral, June 16th if you're in the St. Louis area.
Nice.
517 Theater Lane. But yeah, so I was like, dang, man. I was like, 32 is starting to be good. Like, I got, even if I don't get the commercial, the fact that I just like my agent put me in for an audition, which doesn't happen often. Yeah. Happens sometimes, but not often. I was like, found a good audition for your boy that I feel like I might get. Sound designing for the first time, that will hopefully bring more fruitful things and producing a show for the first time that I plan to do annually. And it's just like, dang, okay, 32. I see you.
Okay. Good
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Good shit. Yeah, say I'm doing all right. This time I do have an XFL update. I'm doing good because we beat our quote unquote rivals, the Vipers, just
I'm just
recently. The
laughing at
Battlehawks.
I'm laughing at every whatever we want lately is just
Oh,
a Battlehawks
I
update.
told you that with the last episode. I was like, hey, you know what? I didn't have the weekly XFL Battlehawks update, but I do this time. And
Anyway, I cut you off. Go ahead.
much like Nelly, I'm representing St. Louis every time I breathe. In your city, I'll touch down and I'll bob and weave. It's a Midwest thing. Anyway, bottom line is they won last night in in good fashion. It was like 29-6, something along those lines. Yeah, the Vipers talking their good shit all week, only because they beat the Guardians.
That is a hell of a fucking gap. 29-6.
Yeah, the Vipers, they won the toilet bowl last week between them and the Orlando Guardians. They were both winless at the time. So the Vipers now with a win thought they had found the winning formula, and Vipers Twitter and Battlehawks Twitter, and by which I don't mean the fans, I mean the Twitters themselves, talk a lot of shit to one another.
Oh shit! Like the official accounts,
leading up to the game, and the Vipers were feeling themselves because they had gotten a win, and then they lost 29-6. I mean, it was still, they still put up a valiant effort. They were out there. They scored 6 points late in the game. That's good,
29-6 is crazy.
I learned something else about the XFL kickoffs, because they had that weird way they line up for the kickoffs, which is, a detractor for a lot of people, and I can see that. Apparently, you know how if a normal kick out, if you kick the ball out of bounds before it, hits the goal line, that's a penalty against your team, and the other team gets it on, like, your 40 or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, XFL, that's still a thing, but also, because of the way they're lined up, if your kick doesn't make it to the 20-yard line, that's pretty much the same penalty.
Oh, it has to go to the 20-yard line.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, you have to kick it at least to the 20-yard, in between the 20 and the go, at least to the 20-yard line. If it goes into the other goal, touchback, whatever. But it has to at least make it to the 20-yard line. They had one make it to like the 19 and then bounce. And they were like, well, now the Battlehawks get it on their 40. Oh, God.
Oh, it hit and then bounced back.
No, that's where it landed. Like, it can't land before there. It bounced past the 20 to keep going, but it landed before, so it didn't make it.
It landed 1 yard down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like the other way, because it's different. Your own and your opponent's is, yes, I got you.
Okay, yeah, they didn't kick it to the 19, they kicked it to the, I guess, 21. But yeah.
What was I trying to say? So how do they do onside kicks?
They don't. What they do for onside kicks is it's 4th and 15 on your own 20.
That's right, you told me that.
And if you convert it, cool, you get to keep the ball and the drive keeps going. If you fail, they got the ball on like the 20 and they're in scoring range.
You told me that.
So that's their onside kick. So because of that, and that's probably why they do the whole, you got to at least make it a certain distance, because the way the teams are lined up, if you kick it shorter to yourself, there's literally no chance the other team recovers it. So
far, Mr. XFL, at least as far as WWW.
NFL's still better, yeah.
I was gonna ask you, which one do you prefer watching?
NFL's still better. They're not competing against each other. XFL's in the spring or whatever. But NFL's still better, but that's because that's where all the talent goes.
If you let's say scale of 1 to 10, and the NFL is a 10, where would you rate the XFL so far?
No, I like it, but if I want to go from an objective standpoint, I'd say probably like a 6. Personally, I'd say it's probably like an 8. But I'd say objectively a 6 because the talent level, like I said, it's either people who weren't good enough to get into the NFL the first place, or people who went to the NFL did not do good, so they're trying to get a second chance at proving they are who they say they are, a superstar.
Lupe Fiasco. My favorite rapper. What was I say? But your enjoyment level.
My enjoyment level is high because I'm from St. Louis and I'm biased and I'm happy to have a team.
St. Louis has a football team again after
Yeah,
all these years.
my enjoyment level is high because I can root for my home team.
Okay, I got one for you. Okay, to just
And my home team is actually decent. So, if St. Louis didn't have a home team and I was stuck having to root for the Guardians, I would not like the XFL at all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Would you still care as much and have as much fun watching if you didn't have a home team?
I would not have as much fun. I would try to find a team to root for because I like football. Well, American football or gridiron football. I like gridiron football. They're
not football.
Not a big soccer guy now.
Right. What are you gonna do? You forgot what you were saying?
Oh yeah, I usually try to find a team to root for, or maybe players, but I wouldn't pay close attention at all. Especially with the league having crumbled twice. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Even though the second time was literally, act of God.
Beyond anybody's control for anything, a whole lot of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Second one,
Why did WrestleMania, what was it, 37? Was it 37? Why did WrestleMania 37 suck so much? Was it 37, 36, one of the two? It's like, well.
Yeah. So that's that. We got a WrestleMania coming up soon anyway. Might have already aired by the time this one comes up. Oh, no. So it might be coming up because it's next weekend. No, it's the one after.
WrestleMania is this Saturday and Sunday. April 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, and so that means this would be going up.
Like, what is that, the 4th?
Yeah. So it has just happened.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the main event winner. Very hard fought match. Fantastic.
Shut the fuck up. Oh shit. Do we alienate our few listeners and actually give our WrestleMania prediction?
I don't know enough about the WrestleMania card. I know that, one of the competitors has adrenaline in his soul. Something Cody Rhodes.
Well, and then of course, it's taking WrestleZania and KO Mania earlier.
WrestleMania?
Zania.
Ah, is that what they're calling it?
Yeah. Well, you know about this whole.
Yeah, I know they scrapped the whole Sammy bloodline thing. They went ahead because they wanted to make Cody the guy. They wanted to make Cody the guy that wins, so they just let's just throw this Sammy thing away that we had working. Because that was one of the good things they had was the Sammy thing.
Everybody was behind it. And I mean, I was part of everybody. I was talking to Ibn about it, and I was saying, because he was talking about how when Sammy lost that Elimination Chamber, what the fuck? And I was like, well, unfortunately, we all kind of knew Cody being injured. It was never in the cards for WWE to really care about making anybody champion at WrestleMania besides Cody Rhodes. Since Cody came back, Cody just got derailed because he got injured. So unfortunately, Sammy became a placeholder. That's all he was from the jump. He was like, we gonna have you, we gonna create one of the best storylines that we've had in recent, the last few years.
And then throw it away. You threw it all away.
But it's like, we're gonna create one of the best storylines we had in the last few years, but it's just some placeholder shit. They were just like, we gonna hold this. And I mean, I'm not fully pissed if they make Usos versus KO and Zayn a main event. If that
Why
becomes,
would you be upset? Are they still doing the 2 day thing?
yeah, I wish they would stop that shit, but that's a whole different thing. Everybody complained about WrestleMania being too long, and it's like, yeah, it is. I get it because with the pre-show and the full event, WrestleMania is a fucking work shift, 8+ hours. I get that, but one, you can't say you didn't get your money's worth. First off, but at the same time, I get that. Okay, cool. If we cut down on some of the pre-show and cut down on the show itself, WrestleMania was always 4 hours at least. And then all of a sudden, everybody is acting like WrestleMania being 4 hours is like some completely unfathomable thing. Like, where'd this come from? Oh my God, it's too long. And it's like, bitch, before the 2 day thing was a thing and this premium live event.
Like, that's the problem, is that it's 2 days. The 4 hours, whatever, it's WrestleMania. It's going to be longer than the others.
No, people prefer, because I spend time online. I don't know if you do too, but I spend time online looking at some of this shit. People prefer 2 days because people are saying that WrestleMania was too long. They're saying 4 hours is too long for a pay-per-view. And I'm like, but it always was. How did it suddenly become an issue?
Zoomers. They don't have any attention span. They're too busy zooming around. They got other stuff to do.
Because people are retroactively acting as if 4 hour WrestleManias were a problem. And I'm like, it always was. The whole thing about it was Raw was 2 hours. Pay-per-views were 3 hours. WrestleMania was 4. That's just how it was for the longest fucking time. You know, all of a sudden, 4 hour WrestleManias got to be a problem. Okay, cut down the pre-show. I get it, because like I said, that's long as shit. But 4 hour WrestleManias became a fucking problem. And everybody's like, 4 hours for a pay-per-view. Oh my God. And then when they decided to make it 2 shows, everybody is saying how that's a good thing. Seriously. People have said the last few years, 2 hours was such a great idea. I'm so glad they're doing. I mean, 2 days. 2 days is such a great idea.
Well, the first time they did it, it was fine because of the way they were able to have the 2 main events and people. It was a new concept, and both main events satisfied enough. But then, like the following year, it's like, okay, y'all didn't need to keep doing this.
They're not gonna stop anytime soon.
Yeah.
And the main reason why I say they're not gonna stop anytime soon is
money.
What I've seen online, well, that too. You can get 2 fucking arena sales for the price of 1 event. But from what I've seen online, people prefer it this way.
We've got to have money.
And I mean some wrestling bloggers and like media that I like to look at. Down to like Steven Larson going in Raw and Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp and shit like that. Like people are, like they prefer the 2 day thing. Like, I don't know. From what I remember, 4 hours, maybe a little bit over, like 4.5 was the perfect length for WrestleMania.
I agree.
Part of I have said part of what killed Raw, not killed Raw. We don't say killed Raw. Part of what's hurting Raw.
The 3 hours.
Yeah, consistently 3 hours. You remember back in the day when they would do the Super Show and it'd be 3 hours. Like, oh, we get a 3 hour Raw, and it was almost like a pay-per-view with commercials. But now consistently 3 hours. You know how hard it is for anybody, no matter how amazing this shit is. You know how hard it is to write 3 hours of material consistently?
Yeah.
Every fucking week. I don't care. That's why everybody's talking about The Simpsons is trash now. Which The Simpsons used to be amazing, but because they consistently trying to write material. No, not 3 hours. They consistently trying to write material, and it's been 30+ years trying to constantly crank out this shit. No matter how good of a writer you are, you gonna come up with some stale. It's gonna get stale. 3 hours is a lot. Okay, commercials. 2.5, 2:45.
Yeah, no, it's still a lot. You're right.
Still a lot of material to write on a consistent weekly basis. So I think that's what's hurting Raw. and then I think that trickles over into hurting pay-per-views. And I feel that pay-per-views and premium live events, I felt ever since Raw went consistently 3 hours, it takes away some of the prestige of a pay-per-view because it made the pay-per-view seem more special because you got another hour.
True. I agree.
I guess wrestling rant aside, wrestling podcast.
Actually, what's that? No one has those. So, yeah, so that was going on with that. Oh, what was the thing I wanted to talk to you about? There was something that came up recently. Doesn't matter, I guess, if I can't remember it today.
That's got it.
Did you ever see the John Wick movies?
When you talked about this, I'm like the one dumbass that haven't seen any of them.
Oh, okay. I saw the fourth one.
Has seen them.
I saw the fourth one this past weekend.
Is it more over the? Everybody say they're like over the top and ridiculous in a good way.
It's a John Wick movie. I would suggest watching the other three going into it because they don't really spend a lot of time on how we got here, just that we are here.
Movies doing that, they do that a lot lately.
Well, I mean, when you're on part 4,
they've been doing that a lot for years. Well, that's like Scream 6, which was good, and it's getting a lot of praise as it should. But Scream 6, you could watch Scream because they introduced a new cast in Scream 5. You could watch Scream 5 without necessarily having seen 1 through 4. But if you watch Scream 6 without having seen 5, you're gonna be lost as fuck. So, yeah. So you can watch 5 and not have seen the others, and you be good. But if you watch 6, and one of my coworkers told me she watched 6, and I was like, it picked right up, and you gonna be lost as shit. But anyway, no, my mom has seen John Wick 4, well, not 4, but the John Wicks. I don't know if she's seen 4 yet, and she liked it. And it's just like I'm like the one guy that ain't seen fucking any of them.
Yeah.
But I hear they're good because I hear Keanu just in there doing his own stuff and kicking ass.
Yeah, I commend you. I have commended you for some time for sitting out of Game of Thrones. I will not say that personally, I don't think you should sit out of the John Wick movies. But I don't know how you feel about like action movies.
I love action.
Fair enough. But sometimes if the movie gets a lot more action, it's too actiony and too not plot driven enough. It's just nonstop action.
What are you referring to that I've said in the past? Apparently, I'm contradicting myself with.
I'm not saying you're contradicting yourself.
Okay.
I'm saying you have gone on record saying that there are movies that you've gone on record saying that if a movie focuses too much on action, it's a shitty movie. As opposed to a movie about literal shit. But
now I know what you're shitty is. Oh, okay. So that's what you're referring to, too. Okay. I knew you were referring to. It took me a second. I had to get to. You told I ain't referring to anything.
No, I said you're not. I didn't say I'm not referring to anything. I said I didn't say you were contradictory. I'm just saying you've gone on record.
Do I have something in my nose?
Yes, your middle finger.
That's so stupid. Oh my God. That's so fucking dumb. I might have to steal that. That's hilarious. Anyway, what was I going to say? No, what was the first movie on This Guy Hasn't Seen? By the way, check it out on feogrande, his YouTube channel. What was the first movie that I suggested when I guessed it on This Guy Hasn't Seen?
Wanted.
Which is a fucking stupid, mindless action movie that I love.
Now I will say the first John Wick is a lot less mindless than Wanted is. Still action, still fun, still, not, you shouldn't be trying to take it to the Oscars or nothing. But it's a better put together film than Wanted for me.
I didn't realize y'all did not like Wanted as much as y'all apparently did down the line. But I mean, I get it though. Like,
all right, I can't speak for Bill.
Bill already spoke for himself.
Yes, but I'm just saying I can't speak for Bill. Me, it was not that I hated the movie, because again, I try to look for the things to like. I try to watch with an open mind, as you always insist one should. I do actually. Like, yes, I will if I've heard nothing but bad things about something going in, that'll be at the forefront. But it's still like, okay, well, let me see, because I don't want to sit and be miserable for 2 hours either. So I wanted to watch it, but there were certain things about it where, like I said, I think I mentioned it a few times in the review. I didn't like the main character of Wanted.
And that's one thing with just narratives in general, whether it be books, TV shows, movies, whatever. That's the one thing when it comes to narratives. If you have an unlikable main character, that can hurt a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Just in general. If you have because it doesn't make you want to keep reading, keep watching, keep listening if you as the viewer, if the main person is like somebody you don't like, you're like, ooh, turn this shit off. So that's anything. So I get that. I didn't dislike dude, but I can see why somebody would.
Yeah, that's all. He was a big part of it. Like, I think I was okay with him more near the end as he tried to, man up or whatever, for lack of a better phrase. It's been a minute since we've seen it. But I can understand when I watched it. But yeah, action is action. You get to see stuff. And it's cool. I'm just saying, like, at least for the first movie. Because the first movie's a bit more grounded. I think kind of like anything that goes on for sequels upon sequels upon sequels, especially when it comes to action. If your first movie had some cool action in it, you have to, like, now, you can't have action at the same tier for the second movie. Then it's not the first movie. What are you doing? And now the third movie, you gotta elevate forth. So it's gonna be less and less, grounded and realistic as the series goes on.
As it should, as long as it does it right. I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious, but except Hobbs and Shaw.
I don't think it's that.
Well, I was gonna say I haven't seen any of them except Hobbs and Shaw, and the only reason why I saw Hobbs and Shaw is because my mom hasn't seen any of the other Fast and Furious movies besides Hobbs and Shaw. But she wanted me to watch it with her because she had already seen it because Idris Elba and Dwayne Johnson were in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, mama.
To be fair, The Rock and Jason Statham, with special appearances also by Idris Elba, that made me want to watch the movie because it's literally just action dudes doing action shit, and I'm fine with that.
But I'm just talking about
But I never saw it.
As it goes on being unrealistic, I know the Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah. This is street racing. This is still street racing. This is street racing in Japan. Now this is street racing to do criminal shit. Now here's The Rock, and this is just action movies. Now we used to be street racers. Now we're skydiving in a tank, and oh no, that was 18. But we still do have a tank in one of the movies.
I saw a clip of it, and my friend told me, and it's like a part that's been notorious in like one of the recent ones when like Luda and Tyrese fucking got a car to like fucking float and drive. They were driving a car in fucking space. It's just like, and he said, you go in there to turn your brain off knowing it's gonna be fucking stupid. But he said he was watching it with his dad, and he said they were both like, this is so fucking ridiculous. They were having a good time, but they were just like, this is fucking stupid. It's just like, so yes, as it goes on, you have to one up it.
Yeah,
that's what fucked up Kick-Ass though. First Kick-Ass, cult classic, really good movie. Second Kick-Ass, they said, oh, you like gross out humor? Oh, you like stupid jokes? Oh, you like hyper violence? And they went too far with it in a direction that was dumb as fuck. fucked it up.
Yeah, and I will say, I don't think John Wick got to, well, arguably, it's hard to defend the movie to someone who hasn't seen any of them. Because you don't want to, like, spoil shit and talk about it.
I do plan on watching those. Just haven't gotten around to it.
But yeah, no, I don't think it ever gets as ridiculous as Fast and Furious. Then again, you know, we're only on John Wick 4 as opposed to John Wick 10.
Do you see the series going to like 6, 7, and 8 and 10 and shit?
Possibly.
Or at least attempting?
Possibly. Huh?
I said, it's just fucking crazy. I mean, horror franchises do that shit though, because I was gonna say Jigsaw or Saw. That they just did what Spiral from the Book of Saw, which was I think the 9th installment.
Yeah. Now they could, at any time in any of these movies, just wrap the story up. Like, it's not a story that, while it is all the same story and each one is actually continuing from the previous ones or whatever, it's a story that when he beats a movie, like whatever movie comes out, could be the story where he ends his quest. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Every movie so far has had it where it can essentially be the end of the series.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how you feel about Lance Reddick.
Yeah, see, that's a thing.
But he's in all of these movies.
He looks so familiar, but I don't really know where I know that dude from. Maybe I know him, seeing him in clips of.
He's in a lot of stuff. I didn't know his name, but I always recognized him. It was funny seeing him on Eric Andre's show, though. That's kind of legendary. It's one of the few good things from that show.
You don't like Eric Andre?
I didn't. I may be in the wrong.
I thought he would have been somebody you would be into.
Like I said, I may be in the wrong because I have seen some more funny clips, but when I first saw it, I wasn't a big fan. But I'm willing to admit I may be in the wrong about Eric Andre, but that was one of the few things that I could agree just straight up like, aha, I get it. You know what I mean? I respect it a lot more than I did before because I realized like they were, a lot of the time the attempt was to make the guest feel weird or uncomfortable. So, and the guests were not in on it. Because I think the first few times I saw it, he'd say he had like a celebrity guest on and it'd be some random dude. And I'm like, okay, we're not actually doing anything with this show. But then it turns out, no, they do have celebrities on here and then they troll them.
I was on one. I think Blake Lively was on one. Yeah, like a few people. And I wasn't sure if the well, first I was gonna say rest in peace to Lance Reddick. But
yes,
I wasn't sure if the celebrity was in on it or not when I first started watching. And the main reason I wasn't sure is because the reactions sometimes were so like perfect of what you would want, as well as the shit was so fucking ridiculous. And I was like, there's no way that somebody would come on a show with this shit happening and then sign off on it and be cool with it. There's no way. But apparently they're not in on it. And according to Big Bro Ibn, shout out to Ibn. According to Ibn, they I think he said something like they film a lot more footage than what they show in the like few minutes of time that they have with the fucking like celebrities on the talk show. Which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Eric Andre's out of his fucking mind though.
Yeah, but he had Lance Reddick on for an episode, and Lance Reddick was one of the few that got back at him.
How'd he get back at him?
Oh, you haven't seen the clip?
No, I haven't. You don't want to spoil it?
No.
I don't care if you spoil it. If you don't want to.
No, I'll show you the clip when we finish.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Lance Reddick, he's cool, and I really liked him in these movies. The thing I recognize Lance Reddick from is the John Wick movies, but he generally plays like, I don't know, I'm not going to say he generally always plays that kind of role. That's just the role I've seen him in 4 times. But I liked him. Also, he was a voice actor, apparently, for the Destiny games, and there was a real popular character in Destiny that he voice acted for. Someone at work told me, and apparently Destiny had like a big event for that this past week.
Black don't crack too. The dude was 60, looking like he was 40.
Yeah, someone told me he was 60. I'm like, he's 60? I could have sworn he was in his 40s.
Yeah. So no, black don't crack, man.
Man, I hope so. I hope that's the case.
Rest in peace to that man.
I hope black don't crack.
Apparently,
I like black. I guarantee.
Apparently, I don't look my age. And the reason why I say that is a lot of people, like a good amount of people, were surprised when I told them how old I was, because a lot of people thought I was 26.
Oh, nice.
Like straight up. I
can see that.
I thought one of my coworkers was fucking with me, like straight up fucking with me because she thought I was 24.
Oh no, I had the guy the other day. I asked him how old he was, and he's like, "How old do you think I am?" I said, "Younger than me."
You say that all the time.
But I said that at work, and he was like, "For those of you who don't know at home, I'm older than Jazz, who is in his 30s. So I may or may not also be in my 30s." That's what I'm saying. I may or may not also be in my 30s. Bottom line is, the dude was like, I'm like, you're younger than me. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, how old are you? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. You guess. He's like, 24? No, not 24, but that tells me you're younger than 24 because I told you you were younger. No, he agreed that he would be younger than me, and then he tried to guess my age and said 24. I'm like, so you agreed that you are younger than me, and then you threw out 24. So I'm going to say 21 for you. You're right. Aha. Then I told him how old I was. He's like, well, damn.
I'm telling you about like the parent. When I said it, I said it like I remember I said at the last play that I did like what a month ago, and I was supposed to play me and my scene partner. It was 10 to 15 minute shorts. So for one of them, me and my scene partner, we were supposed to play 21-year-old. And I asked the director, because you can still give wiggle room, and we don't have to be 21 necessarily. So I was like, okay. But I asked the director, I was like, do you guys want me to shave? Because I was like, I know I got to be 21. And I was like, if I got to shave, I'll do it. I threw it out there. He's like, no, it's like fine. I was like, wait a second. Y'all, like, I got a birthday coming up. Do y'all do know how old I am? And I said 26. And the director and the stage manager was like, oh, wow. It's like, I threw out our shave to look younger. Apparently, they thought I was already young as hell. Meanwhile, my scene partner's 24.
Yeah.
We're both playing 21-year-olds, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, remember there was that time we were both cast in a play, and I got cast as the younger brother of your roommate.
Yeah. Well, but I remember I got cast, and this was years ago when I was probably 22, maybe 20. And I was supposed to be playing a fucking like 40-year-old probably. And was like, you remember that? And what y'all doing? But then you could tell they were just trying to find people.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny. I was like, and it wasn't even like I was the younger brother, and your roommate was that much older than you. Now you and your roommate supposed to be about the same age. That's supposed to be like in high school, and I think I was like 26.
Wait, you said play. You might be talking about two different things. You talking about what I did with my cousin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. But no, I don't know. Black don't crack. I don't know. Like I said, apparently I look younger than I am. I know you say you don't like throwing your age out there. I have not gotten to that point yet where I feel a problem telling people exactly how old I am. Because
well, I mean, when you want to get cast to play people younger than you.
No, I know people keep their ages secretive, especially in this business that we're in, because whether you look 20 or not, if you tell people that you're not 20, people might not necessarily just cast you as being 20. I get it. But I'm just like, yo, I'm in my 30s, and you either gonna cast me as being in my 20s, being in my 40s, being in my 30s, or what, whatever.
Yeah, I just know they don't.
That's how
There
I
aren't a lot of roles for like 30s and plus. They're all like for the 20s and shit.
Yeah, a lot of roles, especially for women, when it comes to this stuff. But a lot of roles either go that you're the young one, or you're like on the older side. But the in
Hmm.
between is when things get muddled. So
Yeah, they find out you're like 40, like, you may be a little bit too late for that. You want to play a geriatric? Okay, you can do that. Oh, wait, you're 21? Well, can you do something for me? Can you come over here, maybe get on camera, drop a rich flex for me? If you're 21, just do your thing. Do your thing, 21.
that, that is a reference that I would not have expected Omari to say.
I saw a parody video from Leonard Young about it. And thus, it does become a reference I would make.
I was like, that's not a reference because you don't really be keeping up with rap like that. It's like where you were going, and I was like, wait,
I'm gonna put it this way. I'll put it this way. I don't know exactly what the thing 21 ends up doing is, because in Leonard Young's video, 21 just keeps dancing in the corner while he keeps repeating, 21, do your thing, do your thing, 21.
I
Huh?
don't know. That sounds like something people would say. I don't know what the reference he does. What I don't know what the thing 21 does.
I know he raps, but I'm saying I don't know
That's not
any of his words.
No, I was gonna say no. It came from it went viral. People made a joke off of it. In the album that Drake and 21 Savage just dropped like last year, Her Loss. They dropped the album where it was like the two of them. And Drake was saying 21, you do something for me. 20 and everybody kept saying that Drake uh needed to chill because he sounded like he was going hard for 21 Savage, going like he wanted 21 Savage, if you feel what I'm saying. And and then people started making viral shit where they started really like playing Drake, and they started making Drake seem real feminine and making Drake seem like he wanted 21 Savage. Like,
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
know any of those memes. Like I said, I knew the Leonard Young video.
yeah, what I'm saying, that's where it came from. Because people was like, "Hey, Drake, chill, bro. What you mean? You 21? Do something for me. Hold on." And then he kept saying it, so it became a thing. Like I saw, one of my coworkers showed me that now. Hopefully, if y'all know wrestling, but you'll get this. But when Andrade and Zelina would be a tag team back in the day, or
Yeah.
like a few years ago, and he had it where somebody made the Andrade and Selena tag team entrance, but they created 21 Savage and Drake, and they made 21 come out as Andrade and Drake come out as Selena. And they were just putting Drake in, he was really feminine shit and making it seem like he wanted 21 and it was like chill and all that shit. So that's where it came from. And it became this
Which is
whole
funny
thing.
because the whole time, like I said,
People were clowning Drake.
I know my statement. Like I don't even know the thing 21 does. Like I knew he rapped again. I'll say I knew he rapped, but I don't know any of the words. I've never heard 21 Savage's response because all I saw was the Leonard Young video. But I would have just assumed it was rap and not anything sexual. But
Well,
okay,
no, when he did that, he was just joking because it was just the whole 21 will you do something for me, and he kept
no, you
saying,
said there's a whole meme where people thought he was like.
well, no, well, people joking here, but no, what I mean is I'm talking about when Leonard Young doing this and whatever, he was just making a joke because of
Oh
the
yeah,
fact that,
yeah.
but I'm saying the whole thing about it
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the conclusion
yeah.
everybody else jumped to, I don't know why they jumped to that conclusion. Why wouldn't you jump to rap? I'm ignorant when it comes to rap music, and I assumed the motherfucker was telling him to rap.
Clearly, Jake didn't really want him like that. Yeah.
I know he didn't, but apparently, I don't know why people would even think that that's what he did just because he said, can he do something for me? If I'm asking a rapper to do something for me, I'm probably asking them to rap.
I'm the same way with that. With where you coming from, but you know, people got to jump off the deep end. People got to jump off the deep end. One, because that's society. Two, because people love hating on Drake, whether he deserves it or not. What?
No, just to, he even. Go ahead.
I said, people, one, that's society. Two, people love hating on Drake because that's Drake, and then to an extent, three. And this is not to make a broad umbrella statement, but to an extent, there's a lot of areas of hip hop that are just, you know, motherfuckers just, you know, everything. Pause, man. Pause, dog. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, hold that.
They've gotten so out of hand with that pause thing. Like, there are some times where, you know, it's like, and so then he grabs his balls. Oh, pause. Okay. Yeah, he was talking about picking up the, like, baseballs off the ground. Okay, you said he grabbed his balls. Cool. But then they'll say something that's just the barest minimum, like, where you have to stretch to think anything other than the context.
Means that your ass was thinking like that to say it in the first damn.
And they're like, ooh, pause. It's like, come on now.
And then I watched battle rap, which is a whole bunch of dudes, you know, namely street dudes, but just dudes or whatever. And I watch battle rap, and they be killing me when they say something that might vaguely be like that, and they say pause if necessary, as in it might be vague, so just in case. And then what be killing me too is when you say something and you don't say pause, and then the dudes be like, pause, man, you gotta pause that. You ain't gonna pause that? Oh, you gonna let that slide? You ain't pausing that? Okay. Apparently that ain't necessary to pause. Like what my kitchen manager told me he was playing a game at some point like last year, earlier this year, something like that. He said he was playing the game, had one of his friends on the headset, and he was playing him in some basketball, whatever shit. And he said he was, you know, beating his ass. And he said he was like, man, what you mean, man? Take that loss, man. He said, take that on the chin. Hey, man, chill, man. What you mean? Really? Take that on the chin? Really?
It's literal boxing expression, but okay.
That's what motherfuckers be saying, bro. Like, hey, what you mean, dog? It's like, or like, man, we was gonna have this. We was gonna throw some water balloons at each other, bro. It's like, yeah, man, you gonna better get out in that sun, dog. You know, I'm about to light you up, bro. You gonna get wet out there. Hey, pause, son. Was I not just talking about water balloons?
It's one thing to do that, and then it's another thing to be like where Charles is talking that one time where he was talking about, you know, being a big guy in basketball and having like defenders like, you know, bump against you on the thing. But he was like, when you got a big man banging you from behind. You're gonna say pause to that. But I'll see you saying that. Yeah, I'll see someone going pause for that. But like you said, just the, you know, take your loss on the chin or something like that. Like, come on now.
Or like I said, I watch battle rap, and sometimes somebody was like, man, you got to come hard. You know you had to come hard in that battle, right? Hey, man. Like, okay, man. You know what the fuck he means.
Guess what? I am going to come hard. Because I go hard all day, all night. All my friends and people who be ready to fight say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of wrestling references.
I like that song. I thought it was hilarious.
So, Cyclops, the X-Men, was waiting at home for a package to be delivered.
Okay.
And he had been waiting for a while, looking very forlorn, from what you could see behind his quartz tinted glasses. And he was waiting and waiting, didn't know where the package was coming from. And I'm just like, I've been waiting for this package. Oh no. Waiting, minutes turned into hours. Jean comes by. He's like, oh, Scott, you're still waiting. Oh no. I feel so sorry for you, my love. But she was like, but I hear that the package may have gotten lost in transit. But Charles is actually going to intercept it for you. And he's going to bring it home. X going to give it to you.
All right.
That was for you.
All right.
That was only for you.
That was a nice little.
That was only for you.
Roundabout.
That was only for you. That was only.
You brought it home.
X-Men references and X gonna give it to you all in one. What more could Pete ask for?
Yes, indeed. And what more can you guys ask? How long have we been going? Been going about 52 minutes, right?
I got 52. Yeah, you can go ahead. Shit, go ahead.
Well, yeah, if y'all want to ask for more, and I know you are. Of course you are. You can always find us here every week, every Wednesday. Obviously, you can find me here. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the channel Feogrande. That is Feo Grande. I've got a show over there with a good friend of the show, Bill Smith, called This Guy Hasn't Seen, where we trade movies back and forth week after week. We've even got some episodes, as we mentioned earlier, with this gentleman to my side. Where he talked about Wanted. He also talked about a good movie in Wait Until Dark. They
were all good movies.
And Lady Bird, I believe. Lady Bird?
3 good movies.
Yes. So you can check that out over there. You can also find me elsewhere on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. Jazz, where can they find you?
Well, if you want to find yours truly, you can go ahead first off. Like I said, I do make music, so you can look me up under the name Superjaz. Anywhere you stream your music, that's spelled Superjaz. I dropped my debut solo album a few years ago called My Secret Identity. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, since I'm not so famous yet. Also, you can go ahead and look me up on Twitter under the handle Superjaz2, which is Superjaz number 2. And of course, you can go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz. The word forever is spelled correctly. And if you happen to be in the St. Louis area, come June 16th for 2 weekends. So it's that weekend and the following at the Theater Guild of Webster Groves building, 517 Theater Lane. Go ahead and check your boy out. I will be producing a show for the first time. It's called A Colored Funeral. Go ahead and check it out. Tickets at the door, $15.
Oh,
so,
looking forward to Aquarian Rising.
Oh, Aquarian Rising Productions. I forgot to say. Yeah, thank you. See, that's why you need good people in your life. Aquarian Rising Productions. Go ahead and look me up on Facebook and that is the company, my production company for the plays. Aquarian Rising Productions on Facebook.
No, Aquarian is rising because he's getting offers every week. Every week it's a new development. Look at this dude.
Hopefully.
Look at this dude.
But I mean, whether it be about how good.
Look at this Superjaz. You said you liked Nickelback last episode, right?
I was never a big fan of Photograph. I know how ironic that is. I never big fan.
Me neither.
Be nice to yourself, everybody. I'm not even going. Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adios, this.